What is going on, guys and girls? How are you doing today? It's Singer Roleplay here once again. And today, Grinding Games has posted the development manifesto, which basically discusses why this or that changes will be implemented in 3.7. Basically, the motivation for the patch that is coming in a couple of days. I was pretty surprised with the amount of nerfs, guys. I expected that they will be mostly, changes to the melee, and that's about it. But I did not expect so much nerfs to the existing mechanics in the game. So let's take a look over this, guys, and discuss. I will skip all the unimportant things over there. So first of all, multi-strike. Multi-strike was always a big problem because you get stuck in the animation, and since the animations are changing, you can cancel the animation now. It makes multi-strike a pretty damn powerful shit, and so they decided to nerf multi-strike. So multi-strike gets its attack speed reduced by a half. But now the repeats have a damage multiplied, dealing double damage on the third repeat. So it's effectively something like a slightly speedier version of the Ruthless skill gem now. I want to see just how much of an impact it does, and since Powder Building cannot calculate double damage, I seriously think that it'll be very hard to optimize the use of the multi-strike in any build right now. Melee splash. This is a surprising thing. So since now every single skill, a single target skill has like a big, not a big, but just a small cone of AoE around it, melee splash can now create multiple splash effects per attack. And the skill has a larger splash damage penalty now, as it can much more effectively destroy groups of enemies if you position your attacks carefully. So practically, if it stayed like this, like the old melee splash, if it would stay like this, it will be turning into an improved version of the Ancestral Call support. So they accidentally just needed to nerf this. The biggest question is, how viable is melee splash now? And the most important thing is how viable it is for the zombies and the SRS. This is my biggest question, because, I don't think zombies and SRS will naturally have some splash damage on them, just like the melee attacks. Since melee splash is a nerf now, I wonder how much will it impact the SRS and the zombies now. No idea for now, guys. So Fortify support now provides a more melee damage stat instead of the increased melee fist. So practically, yeah, Fortify was always used in a moment skill like Leap Slam, Whirling Blades, shield charge. Now it actually does a more damage multiply and potentially can be used in a 6-link now. Time will tell if it will be used or not. It will be less multiply than most of the melee support gems, but still we will see just how much damage it does right now. So introducing a number of new support gems too, which are enhance and support slower attacks. While another support gem is an aura skill for the enchants the pure physical damage plus. Nice. We'll be looking forward. The patch notes will be there soon too. So, Chieftain Berserker. I already told you everything about the Ascendant changes, so I will not be going over this. This is practically disturbing me. We've redesigned the positioning and passive wheels of just about everything melee on the passive tree, as well as some bone 1 clusters. Alright, it's a bit of a problem for me because, I have over 15-16 build guides out there, and I wonder how much of a ruin it will be for my build guides and the powder building links, guys. So do not hurt me much for not updating all these leveling trees, because this is just a giant pain in the ass to go for all this shit, guys. I have no idea for now how much of a changes will be, but I'm looking forward to this and powder building changes as well. So accuracy is changing. This is a good thing. What about this? This is also an interesting change. So the dagger and staff base types. The list of dagger and staff base types now includes a number of weapons that inherently can't have any custom modifiers on them. So practically, Previously, you could get a dagger and craft some enormous amount of fizz and extra elemental damage, or crit strike chance and crit multiply. Now there are actual bases like the war staff, and there's daggers and rune daggers now. So daggers can have only attack modifiers, while rune daggers can still have the casting modifiers. And war staff will only have attacking modifiers and can roll casting modifiers. It's pretty cool. I think this like makes the range of the bases wider. Now this is a huge nerf to the jewels, guys. Fucking huge. Look at this. Abyssal Jewels were providing far more added damage to attacks than we're happy with, making them a far greater contributor to damage than a weapon. We've lowered the value of attack damage modifiers to be about 30% lower value than before, and made it harder to obtain the highest tiers of all types in that damage. So rip Abyssal Jewels, rip bow users, rip tornado shots and all that shit, rip kinetic blast. Well, it was already rip. Alright. This is very disturbing thing too for me personally. At the same time, we've lowered we've lowered life, mana, and energy shield available from Abyssal Jewels, and made the highest tier harder to obtain, as again they provided an unreasonable level of survival ability. I'm not so sure, guys. I'm not so sure. They were really balanced around the same amount of increased life and energy shield that on the normal jewels, so I seriously doubt. Damage, yes. Life and energy shield, no. So I don't think I can justify this nerf for now, because you know there are many builds like the science, for example, that practically can get another source of life or damage other than the Abyssal Jewel. So I can't really justify this nerf. I mean, if you are swimming in Exalt currency, you can get silly amount of damage and sustain if you invest a lot on your Scion. But aside from the Scion, you know, Abyssal Jewels would not a very dramatic impact. Even if you have a like high tier 50 life jewel, it's still pretty much the same as a 7% increased max life jewel, like 7-8% increased max life or energy shield. You know, it's not that big of a deal. I don't think it was really necessary to nerf the sustain on the jewels though. Alright. Travel skills, yeah, there'll be new travel skills. The dash skill, there also changes to the Molten Shell and the Mortal Call. The new Iron skill, I can't wait to see this shit too. This is where we're coming, guys. We've decided that Winter Orb, Stormbrand, Bane, and Soulrend were too powerful for clearing through content without heavy investments. So the damage in other aspects have been reduced in power. So Winter Orb, Stormbrand, Bane, and Soulrend are RIP. And this is probably the biggest shit, guys, coming over here. Warlord's Mark now only applies its leech bonus to attacks. The curse easily solve mana problems for the casters with minimal investment, guys. What the fuck is minimal investment? Do you know how much Warlord's Mark rings are there? Guys, do you know how hard it is to get one? I mean, for the noobs, it's just very hard to get this fucking ring, guys. Solving mana problems for the spellcaster should require more thought than and a greater opportunity cost. So I have 3 builds that purely rely on the Warlord's Mark. I honestly see why this nerf is coming, guys. Warlord's Mark was the one and only solution to solve all your mana problems. That's literally the only way how you could spam silly channeling skills or silly fast skills like the Shock Nova, for example. I'm using Warlord's Mark on 3 builds: Shock Nova, Elementalist, Blade Warriors Inquisitor, and also something else. I forgot. Alright, so at least 2 or 3 of my builds use Warlord's Mark. So I need to find a replacement for this now. I need to start thinking what I can do with this, guys. So if you have any thoughts on this, on the Warlord's Mark, let me know in the comment section. I will gladly hear your opinion on this. Another dramatic nerf. Herald of Agony finally hits a nerf. Finally, after 2 leagues of non-stop, Herald of Agony hits a nerf. has had its minion damage per virulence reduced, and the skill provided a huge amount of power for very little passive investment. That's a fact. I've been really waiting for this nerf, guys, and finally it's there. Finally it's there. Alright. More nerfs. This is another nerf. Powerful Ascendancy changes. The Occultist only now has a single energy shield based notable with a condensed and limited version of the previous energy shield notables. The ability of energy shield to be uninterruptible if recovery has started recently has moved to a new keystone found near the witch. What? Making the mechanic available to a broader selection of characters. This is a good thing. But nerfing Occultist, seriously, I don't see the reasoning behind this. Guys, I'll explain. So what Occultist is about is a tanky energy shield character. He's just a big tank of energy shield, crazy recharge rate, crazy recovery. But he's a juggernaut of energy shield, and making him less tanky makes him literally no choice for the energy shield. And there's also Trickster. Trickster Ghost Dance charges now generate at a slow rate and provide a reduced value of attack and cast speed. Okay, that's very good actually. The charges were rarely depleted on a reasonable character in normal gameplay, providing massive defensive power that was far too reliable. You know, I don't really agree to this because it was actually very often depleted. I played a Trickster, Active Breath Trickster in the Synthesis, and I died a couple of times when I ran out of Ghost Dance charges. Simply I was hit by the enemies, then I lose all Ghost Dance charges, then I get stunned, chain stunned, and then I died. Sorry, I'm still sick. So, now about the value of attack and cast speed. This is absolutely true. It was way too powerful in my opinion. Like, Trickster literally replaced everything for the casters and for the attackers. Literally, you can play any build as a Trickster. Silly amount of attack speed and ridiculous amount of cast speed, like nothing you can get on the other Ascendancies. And it literally needed a nerf, guys, because I could not stand watching with all these Trickster builds out there. Like, poor Inquisitor was been crying in the corner, trying to get back to action, and I can't wait to get back to Inquisitor and make him great again. Now, speaking about the Occultist and the Trickster, the narrow path between the two got even more narrow, with the Occultist being less tanky and the Trickster becoming less faster, let's say. So I think that the path is really narrow between the two now. I don't think it's a very good thing. For Trickster, I fully agree on the changes, but for Occultist, I highly doubt on this. It was a good choice because Occultist, you know, there's not many characters that can build a crazy amount of ES, and Occultist was one of this, and making him an impact of this really hurts. Another thing, the Elementalist Beacon of Ruin notable has been changed, no longer granting proliferation of elements. What? And with a lower value minimum shock. The shock benefit provided too much power in combination with increases of shock effect, while the proliferation has significant effects on performance. Another questionable nerf, guys. I don't understand why it was done. I'll explain why. First of all, Elementalist is a squishy piece of shit. If you play Elementalist, you will have a hard time sustaining yourself in the end game. You will most likely die in one shot. You will have a hard time bossing around. Elementalist needs a lot of investment to stay alive because he's squishy. And with the absence of World Mark, I seriously want to see just how people will be building Elementalist now. So Elementalist was pretty much a glass cannon, a damage dealer, mostly used in the speed farming builds, and now with the Winter Orb nerf and everything, and I honestly believe that Elementalist kind of gets done with this. It's just done. I don't think that people will be playing Elementalist anymore because it's squishy. The Beacon of Ruin literally is not very useful as before. Winter Orb is nerfed, so I want to see just what else people will be playing, but I cannot justify this nerf because Elementalist was not really you know, as good as maybe grinding games thought it is. It was definitely popular for proliferation, for impulse explosions, But the shock effectiveness was really useful in the end game because, you know, you are squishy shit. You just need all damage you can to kill the bosses fast. And if you just get rid of this, it makes you like not very useful in both the end game and the start game and in the mid game, and you're practically just not very useful anywhere. And I kind of doubt that Elementalist will be popular from now on, and I don't think I can justify this change for now. So Blood Magic and Moral Conviction, now the interesting thing. This pretty big change too. This means that builds that use Blood Magic and Moral Conviction to reserve a very large number of auras while being protected by Energy Shield will be restricted to 1 aura. This is another pretty big thing. Now, a very low amount of Moral Conviction builds actually out there, but the one who uses this are definitely very powerful, and I think it's a viable nerf as well. There are many changes as well, guys. There's the value of Energy Shield increases. Clusters has been lowered with some flat Energy Shield available early in the passive tree. This will let Energy Shield have some extra defensive benefits at early levels while reducing the potential Energy Shield that a fully invested late game character can achieve. That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. So you get more Energy Shield early on, but less in the late game. Alright. We've removed the powerful passive clusters behind many keystones. This passive were being used to add additional power to the keystones in a way that worked well in the passive tree, but unique items were unable to receive the same power without characters being able to double up by taking both the unique and the keystone. Alright, I'm really curious what they did with this. Another big nerf, Unnatural Instinct. The critical multiplier passive near the sign starting area provided far too much power for the Unnatural Instinct jewel. They have been changed to accuracy passive instead. Ha 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 ha. Unnatural Instinct is 1 alchemy now, guys. Holy fucking shit. Crazy, crazy. And I just got one, actually. Another big nerf, a dense fossil. The inclusion of the dense fossil with Delve and the item quality crafted modifiers with Betrayal significantly increases the potential energy shield available in many items lost with minimal investment. The values granted were too great, so we made changes to the dense fossil and quality crafted modifiers. You can no longer craft any local item quality modifiers on boots, gloves, and helms. You will still be able to craft them on body armors and shields, so no more quality on boots, gloves, and helms. Alright. Dense fossils no longer include armor, evasion, and energy shield suffixes. Holy shit. Instead, the fossils will have local item quality as a potential suffix on body armor and shields with a slightly higher potential value. So basically, you know, it's a pretty fun thing because, especially in Synthesis, it was possible to craft literally legacy amount of energy shield on your gear, and they are slightly nerfing it again. I mean, energy shield was rising for the last patches, and now it's getting back to nerf states. You know, it's pretty fun how they energy shield was there for years, then it literally was halved and it was dead, then it started rising again, and now it's being nerfed again. It's so fun how they go through cycles, you know, with buffs and nerfs, buffs and nerfs. It's really fun though. Another thing, powerful unique item rarity. Certain very powerful unique items will be harder to obtain now. This includes Headhunter, Eternity Shroud, and Solstice Vigil. Oh my god, cute dog is crying out there with Empyrean on his knees. And I'm very happy that I have all of this. I actually have all of this. I have the Headhunter, I have Eternity Shroud, and Solstice Vigil. Headhunter was actually being given to me by my friend when he quitted the league. Eternity Shroud I bought myself in the Synthesis for 4 Exiles, I believe. And Solstice Vigil I dropped myself from the Shaper. Yeah, from the Shaper, I think. So yeah, I have all this. And I'm happy I have this for now because it likes me to experiment with the builds. Alright, so as for the enchantments, we're still waiting for them. For the Leech and Bleeding, they will be changed in the future. They also want to change how Leech works. So they're not satisfied with the Leech, so potential will be changing in a 4.0, a big expansion. So I'll keep an eye on that. Overall, guys, I'm pretty surprised by the nerfs. I'm super surprised by the Warlord's Mark. I'm super surprised by the Elementalist nerf. I'm extremely surprised by the Occultist nerf. It was I cannot justify this. Dense Fossil, I've seen that coming. As for the rest, Herald of Agony definitely need nerf along with the Trickster. Overall, this is probably the biggest nerfs that I've seen, especially with the Abyssal Jewels, because Abyssal Jewels really were badass. Literally can spec into no toughness or whatsoever on the tree and just get all jewels on your Scion and blow the fuck out of everything. So I saw that coming, and it literally nerfs Scion characters too again. So I think it's really good for the health of the game. So let me know in the comment section, guys, what do you think about this? How do you feel about the nerfs? How do you feel about 3.7 upcoming expansion league patch whatsoever? Thanks for watching, guys, and see you soon. First of all, I would like to thank you very much for watching the video. Your likes and dislikes, especially, as they push me forward even more. If you want to see more content, please consider subscribing to the channel. I do daily uploads of role-playing content, be it builds, guides, let's play, stream highlights, and upcoming RPG games. Also, don't forget to follow my Twitch stream to catch me live in action. I do stream daily on working days. I'm a full-time YouTube content creator and a Twitch streamer too, so if you want to support me, you can do it either from Twitch or by PayPal directly from my website angryroleplayer.com. Join my Discord channel too for a place to discuss RPG things offline, as well as follow my Twitter to be notified on any new content. If you want to get extra information like sneak peeks into upcoming videos, plans, different behind-the-scenes footage, you can also join an Unholy Army on Patreon as well, guys. Thank you very much once again for watching, listening to all this. See you soon.